let go because this is letting go of the heavy winter snows over here. All right, we're gonna have some good times here. Ready?
Yes.
I release and I let go. I let
The Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide.
Yes,
I'm only here for God.
no more
Struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light.
I am free in the Spirit. Yes,
I'm only here for God.
I want to hear you. Ready? Here we go.
I release and I let go.
I let the Spirit
Run
run
my
my
life,
life.
and my heart is open wide.
Yes,
I'm only here for God.
no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light.
I am free in the Spirit. I'm only here for
God again. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here. One more time. Yes, I'm only here for God.
All right. Actually, I have to compliment you.
Okay.
You know why?
We're on time.
You're on time. I know. I drove up here and I went, boy, the parking lot's already full. They must have read the newsletter or the memos or the emails or the texts to be here on time. So congratulations. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
It is. I was up at 4:30 this morning with my dogs. No, it's all good. All right. So since 3:30, who?
The time change.
It was 4:30. It was early. All right, so we have take you down into a little meditation, and Sylvia will take it over. All right.
If joy and peace are natural feelings, why do we feel fear and anger so frequently and easily? The culprit is the ego. It likes to keep us in its power. How do we find natural joy and peace? They are present when we are open to the love of the Holy Spirit. There's only one choice we ever need to make, and that's whether to rely on the ego or the Holy Spirit regarding the many, many details of our lives. During our silent meditation, I invite you to contemplate these words. I am able to feel love and joy today. Again, I am able to feel love and joy today. everyone has joy and peace as their spiritual, precious, holy guidance. God is the presence which gives such wonderful freedom to each individual, to each form of life throughout the entire universe. With God, with Spirit, by whatever name you summon that which is thriving in your heart and soul, that feeling of goodness and joy, of peace and love, and ultimate happiness comes through and shines throughout your entire being, the physical and the non-physical. So today unfolds perfectly because of the message provided by Reverend Dr. Suzette. Her words are like golden drops of honey, gently warmed into your heart and soul. Good words, good feelings, goodness, peace, and joy. And I give thanks for the ability of this beautiful center, Om Community Church, Community Center, by whatever name you feel comfortable, however you want to call it. It is from the center of your being that you know that we reach out beyond these walls, around the world, through the incredible technology. And thanks to our expert sound technician, Martin, all things are possible to be extended to everyone, no matter where they are. All are welcome. And so today unfolds beautifully with the music, the message, the gorgeous place we live in on earth. And so I say, this is a beautiful, perfect day, is it not? Is it not filled with joy and peace? Because it comes from each and every single living being naturally. And calling it good and beautiful and awesome, let us say, and so it is. And it's my distinct pleasure to bring back the magic of Talia Morales. Give her a big welcome.
Thank you, everybody. When I was looking to find the just right song for today's message, I found this gorgeous song called Peace by Erica Luckett and Lisa Ferraro. So I hope you enjoy it. When the world feels heavy with sorrow and my heart hangs weary and sore, when I start to lose my faith in tomorrow, when I see no end to these endless wars, I just close my eyes, hear a voice whisper quietly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. Trying to find our way to peace, we must see peace is the way. And peace it is in every stand that we take. It's how we walk through every day. So I close my eyes, hear a voice whisper lovingly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. Peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath.
You know, I've heard them sing that song. Really? Yeah. It was in Denver. Yeah, I think Lisa passed, didn't she? I think she did, yeah. That was an interesting story. Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are ya?
Good.
What a beautiful day in San Diego. We're in the right place to live, you know that? And I keep telling my friends they're on the other side of the country, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. Let me go back one. I think is where I want to go. So the talk title today is Peace Begins with Me, Listening to the Still Small Voice. So, first question. Who had a chaotic week? Chaotic week. Raise them up high, guys. I'm doing this on purpose. You'll understand why in a minute, okay? Little echo here. You'll understand by the time I'm done why. How about you online? Did anybody there have a busy week? Crazy week? They're not paying attention. Okay. I know there's a delay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a quote by one of my favorite authors, is Joel Goldsmith, who's was a Unity minister. And he says, the degree of spiritual consciousness, there's an echo here, I think, Martin, which we attain can be measured by the extent to which we relinquish our dependence on the external world of form and place our faith and confidence in something greater than ourselves, in the infinite invisible, which can surmount anything and every obstacle. It is the awareness of the grace of God. The awareness of the grace of God. I'll try to come up with some stories that you can relate to. I wanted to say one about the new dog we have. It is just so heartwarming to watch a rescue dog, awaken to itself. And even last night at, I don't know what time it was, 3:30 in the morning, I feel this little doggy sneak up on my bed, and then just lay right next to me. And talking about listening to the still small voice, it's like, in many ways, I'm talking to her, for her to recognize who she is, and that it's very special that she's here. And it's really nice to see. I think she's getting it, because she can't stand not to be touching somebody. It's really sweet. So to watch her grow is really important. Anyway, I say that because I asked you to raise your hand because I want to know if you had a lot of chatter this week.
Of course.
Chatter about all the stuff that's going on out there. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Through that chatter, did you hear any of your intuition tell you anything?
Yep.
Oh, good. A few of you did. Because it's important that you realize that if there's too much chatter going on, you're not going to hear that voice. It's going to take, the other will take over. It reminds me of when I started our ministry. Tom, you probably remember this. And I had an individual who was really very bright, very, very bright person. But their way was the highway. Either their way or it was the highway. Because everything I did was wrong. And it took me about a year to realize that what they were saying was their ego. And where they wanted to take me, you know what I'm talking about, where they wanted to take me was their opinion. And during that time, I lost my connection with my own intuitive voice, which scared me. And I had to wake up and say, wait a minute. And in fact, the last time we met, they were telling me how bad I was. And I stood up and I walked out. And they were like, what? You're leaving me? Don't I know it all? They didn't say that, but that's what I thought. But I realized that I didn't have that voice that comes back to you when you know you're on the right track that said, you're okay. Instead, it said, get up and walk out. And so I did. And then later, it took me almost 3 months because I said to this individual, if you want to speak to me, you have to be with somebody. I cannot be here with you by myself. They didn't like that at all. And they wrote these emails that were this long. So I saved all of them in case I had to come back and say more about that. And then they called somebody from home office to have a meeting. Fortunately, the ER, or the ER, yeah, the ER. I was in the ER. The person who moderated us was my good friend, was my mentor at one time. So they understood who I was and they understood what I was up against. Not up against, that wasn't the right word. What I was experiencing. Anyway, I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited to hear that still small voice. It took over 3 months. In the meantime, I did not have a meeting with this person because I needed to hear. And I remember the day that I heard it. And I cried. I'm like, there you are. There you are. And as a result of that, at that moment in time, I said, I will never leave you again. And so that was, I think I was in my first year of being Om. And so we're talking 17 years later, that's my guide. So when I talk about the still small voice, I'm coming from a place of losing it and coming back and realizing how important it was to everything that I did. Not just Om, but everything that I did. And I can tell you some really interesting stories, but I won't today. Anyway, the point of this is that it takes a spiritual practice to sit down and go, okay, this is what I want to connect with. It takes loving ourselves more to say, that's important to me. And it's learning to trust the still small voice that it will guide you. If we don't have all those three things, we're going to be lost. So if this week was crazy and you felt lost, there's something out there that has a larger voice than you, than the voice that wants to speak through you. Now, when I say voice, for me, I hear the voice. And sometimes it's not even a voice, it's a nudge. So I put here, peace begins with each of us. Now, I want you to know I love AI, and I've been told to change to a different one. I won't tell you why. And I did the same thing with another AI, and it didn't come up with any of this. So I'm not sure yet if I'm switching, because this particular AI that I have kind of knows my personality now. Yeah, you train them. And when you train them, that means that it becomes, you're connected. But you also have to check it, because I put one of the pictures you'll see later, it had something in there twice, and I said back to it, you have this in there twice. It ignored me. So I got rid of the picture and started over again. Anyway, this is something the AI created, and I'm really amazed by the creation. Peace begins with each of us, not somewhere out there, not a political treaty, not a perfect world. Peace begins in the quiet chambers of your own awareness. Your own awareness. Isn't that cool? And I said, create this, and that's what I did. So this is the power we have with AI. I say it a lot, but I want you to see there's power, but you also got to check it. You got to make sure it's what you feel is correct, or check the statistics. Anyway, the Hebrews call, or Christians call this the still small voice, your intuition. Buddhism calls it the awakened mind. And science of mind, I love what he says this, intuition is the voice of God within us. It's the voice of God that's moving through us. But, anybody struggle with hearing your intuition? Oh, come on. You're not all perfect here. Yeah. It gets cluttered. Yeah, that's right. Because there's a difference between the intuition and what I call the chatter of the ego. Now, when my chatter of ego is going, you know what I say to myself now? I need help. Anybody have chatter of ego? You know what I'm talking about. Good. Because the ego is loud. It's very loud. And here's some of the things that it says to you. It comments on everything. I can always tell when I'm with somebody that's always commenting on everything. That's their ego that's talking. They're not in touch with their intuition. It worries, it criticizes, it compares. Anybody have a comparing ego out there? Yep. Always does. It analyzes. This is my favorite because this is the way I describe it. It speaks in paragraphs. It speaks in large volumes of paragraphs, and it really says too much. So there's that sense of confusion going on all the time. And it's important for you to be able to distinguish between the ego, I'm calling the ego today, you may have another name for it, and intuition. Here's what intuition does. Intuition rarely shouts. It whispers. It speaks in one or two words. It will possibly repeat something as a reminder. I'll give you an example in a minute. And it will not speak in paragraphs. So it's just a couple words here and there. I've said this before, as quite a few are new here. I used to travel like 30,000 miles a month to LA, San Francisco. I mean, wherever I had to go, I went. And there was one time I was in LA, and I was talking to another minister, complaining. Ego was really happy there. And I was complaining. I don't know if I was complaining, but my ego was definitely on stage. But in the back of my mind, I kept hearing this word, "You're going the wrong way." You're going the wrong way. And I just ignored it. I pushed it aside. And as I got almost to Burbank, you're going the wrong way. So I finally had to say, I need to hang up because I'm going the wrong way. And I'm sure that minister was happy, because I was also apologizing for all the things I just said. It was about a person that I really care about. Anyway, so even though we have the chatter going, it's still working. It hasn't left us, but we have to be able to recognize it when it happens. Eckhart Tolle says this. He says, when you recognize there is a voice in your head that pretends to be you and never stops speaking, you are coming out of the unconscious identification with the stream of thoughts. When you notice that voice, you realize that you're not the voice, you are the thinker, but the one who is aware of it. So you're aware of that. Freedom lies in knowing yourself as the consciousness behind the voice. So when that happens, we have to recognize that it is the voice of thinking. It's just the mind going. But when we recognize it, and this is the thing, it's like me recognizing, oh, it's back there, is that, and I used to call this the observation mode, when you're actually observing your entire life and what you're thinking and what you're doing and saying and so forth. We have to step behind that. When we step behind that, there's a quietness that happens, and that's when our intuitive voice becomes available. Now, I don't know if you know that's there for you. I've never heard it like this before. But it is definitely the truth that we can go, wait a minute, I don't want to hear that today, or I want to do something different today, because you've recognized that stuff that's going on. And again, if it's that bad, for me, I go find somebody to help me find that voice. I no longer put myself through so much pain. You know what I'm talking about? I see some heads. Yes, there's pain. Because in that quiet awareness, an intuition becomes available to us. Ernest Holmes said, there's two things, I'll give you a quote in a minute, but he says, he describes intuition as the inner knowing of truth beyond logic or reason. I'm going to really nail this down in a minute. But here's what he actually said in a quote. He said, the divine intelligence within you knows the answer to every question and the solution to every problem. Now that sounds really far-fetched, but let me give you some more information. Intuition is not guesswork. It doesn't guess that you're going to have a better day because you listen to it. It's direct knowing. It's like a black and white. It gets it, it knows it, and it's going to move you in the right place. It's the deeper intelligence of life moving through us. It gently nudges us. There's quiet clarity, moments of knowing. And when we listen, life flows in greater grace. We're not attached to it. And I think I wrote this down. Okay, you might say intuition is the soul speaking while the ego is busy commenting. It's the last paragraph or last sentence. Intuition is the soul speaking while the ego is busy commenting.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and you can take a picture of that if you want. I'll send you my talk if you want. This was kind of a little bit, I mean, I've studied this a little bit, but I never really went into the depth that I'm going today with it. Because I want you to trust that intuition. It knows what's going on, and it will guide you. It will guide you. In fact, that's how I try to live. Is I'll wake up in the morning and I'll go, okay, what's today look like? What's it going to be? And it'll pop in my head. And I can come back and put that up later too. And it will go, okay, do this today. All right, that's where I start. Then once I've completed that, or I'm like, well, I can't go any farther here, it'll go there, do that, do this. And my day then becomes this peaceful moment all the time. And I always hate it when somebody walks in and tells me I gotta do something that's not in my intuition. I do. And I think about that because I don't look very pretty when I do that.
Oh, you don't look
No, I don't look very pretty. It's like, don't bother me. My intuition's working today. So I have a little story. Now, when I tell you this story, I want you all to think about yourself and if this has happened to you. It's a story about a woman. Her name is Sharon, and she has a habit. Her habit is she drives to work the same place, the same way, every single day, And then she stops at this coffee donut place, has a cup of coffee and a donut. All right? Every day does the same thing. Anybody here do the same thing? I do. I get up and have 2 cups of coffee. I know that. All right. This one particular day, she's driving to work, to stop at the coffee shop, and she hears this nudge, or she feels this nudge. And it was a feeling. It was like, I don't know, there's something going on. And but she's not afraid. She's just like, oh, okay. Anyway, she gets this quiet nudge, and the nudge says, don't stop today. Keep driving. Just keep going. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Now, it didn't make any logical sense to her, because intuition sometimes isn't very logical, and she almost ignored it. But she listened, and she went to work. So she drove past the cafe, went straight to work, and later that morning, she's listening to the news. Yes. And somebody had robbed the place the exact moment she was supposed to be there. So she's describing what she did this morning because she wasn't there. And she told when she told the story later, she said something very interesting. She said the voice wasn't loud. It was calm, quiet, and clear. Calm, quiet, and clear. See, that's the nature of intuition. It's calm, it's quiet, it's clear, and it puts you in one direction. It doesn't go left, right, circle. It goes one way. It doesn't argue. It doesn't have to panic. It simply knows. I can't emphasize that enough. It knows the thing that you don't know. Because what you're doing is tapping into that infinite flow that's going through all of us. So don't ignore it. Don't ignore that which knows. Today, and this is true, this statement, is probably one of the most overstimulated times in human history. Right? I mean, I really have to move myself out of everything because it's like wherever I go, there it is. You know, it's the phone, it's the notifications, it's the text, it's the social media. Anybody on Facebook this week? Raise your hands, please. And did you get lost in Facebook? Yeah, so easy. But we are surrounded by noise. It's not that it's bad, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And then in addition to that, our ego is going back and forth about, is that real? Is that true? Oh my God. You know, the reactions. See, intuition is silent, lives in silence. And so when we talk about spiritual practice, it's about being able to do it. I think I have a slide on this too. It lives in silence. This is why spiritual practice matters. Not as a religious duty. You don't have to do this, but as a technology of awareness. Isn't that interesting? Technology of awareness. Spiritual practice creates the inner condition where intuition can be heard. Now, you don't have to go and meditate for an hour and a half. It takes about 7 minutes. And then the pituitary gland actually switches back here in your mind, and it moves you into a new place. So we're going to talk about 3 different ways to do that. Actually, I've got more than 3, but you're going to get to do a process in one of them. So meditation creates, and this is the AI picture that I had it created, and I had to make it change it, and which I thought was fascinating. It says meditation quiets the mental challenge or chatter. Try that again. Meditation quiets the mental chatter. Blah. It reduces stress, balances the nervous system, enhances intuitive awareness. When we sit in stillness, even for a few minutes, the mind begins to settle. Has everybody experienced that? Where it just kind of goes, okay, we're okay. Then when the surface wave calms, now what that means is when all the stuff calms down, then the deeper wisdom comes forward. And that's what it says on the bottom right. It starts to appear, so you start to tap into that, which is already within you. You don't have to go get it. It's already there. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Consciousness, breathing is my anchor. So let it be your anchor, you know. If you're not doing this, and you will have some homework, of course you will, is to settle down. Just settle down into your own space, whatever that is. The second thing is called visioning. Who's heard of visioning here? So I'm speaking to the choir here. But Michael Beckwith, he says this. He says, visioning is this. Visioning is not about asking God for something. We don't do that here. It's about becoming available for what God is already doing. It's tapping to what is already there. Instead of forcing the outcomes, we're listening. Instead of controlling life, we cooperate with it. Visioning is a sacred act of receptive listening. Receptive listening. It allows a greater idea to emerge. And that's where you want to be. You want to allow. How many of you are artists here? Do creative work? Any sort? So when you're in the midst of creating, do you find that you sometimes get stuck? Yeah? Anybody? Yeah, you do. And so it's about, and sometimes when that happens, you have to kind of go away from it so that chatter of I'm stuck goes away, right? You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, then what you're doing is you're diverting that chatter, and you go into something that makes you feel good, which is the silence of the new thing you're doing. And then in the midst of that, you'll go, oh, I got an idea. So that's when the greater idea comes through. And then you can go back to your project. I always love doing projects because I do use a tape measure, but I like using strings. Because it's more fun. I go, oh, it's that size. Let's go over here, it's that size. I've just had to learn how to cut twice, that's all. Because I usually cut a little short. I know, isn't that terrible? Joel Goldsmith says this. I love Joel Goldsmith again. He's the practice of the presence of God is the recognition that God is the only power and presence. Kind of what I read to begin with. It's the only thing. You're tapping into that. You don't have to go get it. It's right there. So that means that Spirit is active everywhere, not just in church, not just in meditation, but every moment of every part of your life, every breath that you take. Whether you're driving, who likes to swear at the people that cut you off? Oh yeah, okay. So God's there too, all right? Because you something said slow down, and then boom, they go. It's when you talk, when you're working, you're walking, and when we live this way, intuition becomes a constant companion. So I have this thing about if you don't know what to do, call upon it. Just say, reveal to me that which I need to know, and then shut up. Don't say anymore. And go about your day doing whatever, and it will come back and it'll give you some guidance. And if you don't hear intuition, I believe everybody does, but we do it in different ways. It's not that we don't hear it, we just do it in different ways. So I want you to trust your intuition. Now I say it's my last point, but you get to do one more thing after this. There is a connection. There's a connection between and truth between intuition and self-love. Hadn't thought about that, had you? If you cannot trust your intuition if you don't trust yourself. When I was reading this back this morning before I got here, I thought about my therapist years and years ago when I was getting my life back together, many years ago. And she was the person I had to trust, was my intuition. And I would go every week, and I would tell her what I thought, and then I would say, what do you think? You're my intuition. And then she would help me kind of navigate that. So if you don't trust yourself, that's the time to start doing some self-love. Because we I don't know about you, but I used to doubt myself a lot. Anybody still doubt themselves? We do a lot, whether we realize it or not. We doubt what we think. But you know what? And I'll tell you an example here in a minute. There's something going on inside of us that needs to be said or experienced, and don't be afraid of that. Don't second guess your feelings, and don't ignore your inner knower. So, true story, happened this week. I think I can say this on TV. I went to a minister's meeting, and I got to meet with a lot of my friends that either I graduated with, or there were new ministers coming up. It's always fun to watch a new minister coming up because they're always so excited. They have no idea what's coming down the road. And anyway, the conversation went into, the leader said, I want us to talk about something that you're not happy with, or something you think that, doesn't settle right with CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, the big organization. And as she was talking, of course, this comes up in my mind of, well, that's really an important question to ask, but I think people are afraid. So first one, hand up. And I went into my little, I get on my spiel. But what I said was, 3 years ago when we had new leadership, there's one thing that leader did that I really admired. And that was that they asked the questions. And they didn't tell us what the answers were. They just took down the notes. And has done that for 3 years, and I've watched them. And now I'm saying this in front of my peers, and before, and I said, 3 years ago when I said my little thing, I said my heart was pounding so hard because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble. And I know people related to that, because back then it was a lot about judgment. Anyway, I said that. I always confess right in front of them, right? So then I said, but today, the question that the leadership here is asking is, what has been difficult to talk about or that you don't like? And so I said, be open with yourself. Say what you need to say. Do not be afraid. I said, I'm not afraid today to sit here and say what needs to be said so that we all wake up, because we are in a whole new place 3 years later than when we were when COVID hit. COVID was in the middle of that. It was so frightening for many, many people. Anyway, I gave a little more spiel. And then I said, by the way, I'm not running for office.
Got my vote.
Thanks. Because I don't want to be in office. I want to be that which is the intuition that says, here's what needs to be revealed. And so one person brought up a subject, and it was the perfect subject. And I don't need to get into that part of the story, but it was like, okay, this is good. We're opening up. Because and Centers for Spiritual Living home office has really changed. It's all virtual now. In fact, somebody said, what do you call it? I said, it's home office. It's just in a different way of looking at it. Don't be afraid to look at it. It's still there. So getting back to loving yourself, the spiritual practice here is loving yourself. That's what I was doing 2 days ago by loving myself and saying, come on, guys, let's open up. It's all good. Instead of sitting there and complaining about what they're not doing. Because they're doing the best that they can, and they're making good changes, and the hardest part is already over. So, how many people here think that self-love is arrogant?
Oh, God,
You say that with I counsel a lot of people, and I say, take care of yourself. You're more important than anything else going on here. And they go, but I can't do that. The truth is, self-love is not arrogance. It's about being aware of making yourself number one first. That's all. Doesn't mean you leave everything else out. It means that you're saying, well, does this work for me or not work for me? You're now at choice. Self-love is spiritual alignment. If you don't know the answer, just say, let me think about that. Because what's happening is you're aligning with your values. You're aligning with what's possible. You're aligning with your spirituality. It's okay to pause. Because when we are in self-loving, we're in divine expression of the one presence, whatever name you call it. And everyone here is an individualized expression of that. And so each one of you have a different point of view. Each one of us, like in the ministers' meeting, has something to contribute. And part of that is about truth. Not being afraid to speak the truth. Because truth will set you free. Ernest Holmes says this. He says, you are a center of divine life. God is individualized in you. I'm going to say as you and through you. So we're going to do a little, hope everybody online is ready for this. We're going to do a little short practice. And there's a handout. But before you give the hand, don't give the handout yet. I want you to move in groups of 3. And I want you to move the chairs so you can see each other. So I want you to do that very quickly. Quickly. Okay? You want to go with, and if it's a group of 4, that's fine. 4 is fine. Just do those 2. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and turn your chairs to each other so I want you to see each other. We need one more person up here.
Okay, Steve, you want to go up there?
Steve, come on up here.
Come up there.
Give Steve a chair. Great. Now stay with me here. Stay with me. Stay with me, please. You'll get to introduce yourself in a minute. Now do not look at these sheets of paper as they come around. Just turn them over. And for those that are online, you guys can open up your voices. Are we muted? I'm sure we're muted. And you'll be doing this together if you choose to do that. And I will have these. Everybody got 3? Okay, guys, stay with me here, please. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to just tell you what these are for those that are online, because you'll be able to see it when it's online. And there's a description below that, but they won't get all that. So while I'm doing this, I want you to read what there are 5 little points, what they each say, and then I want you to say to yourself, which one do I want to practice next week? Ooh. And then the second part of this is, and briefly I want you to answer the question, why do I want to practice this? All right? Now this is important. Do you think this is important?
Yes.
Because you're going to tell your neighbor why you want to practice it. That means you have to keep your word. All right? So here are the 5, and for those that are online, I'm going to put it on the screen so Martin makes sure hopefully they can see it. The first one is, speak to yourself with kindness. The second one is, pause before reacting. The third one is, spend time in quiet each day. The fourth is, trust the first peaceful insight. So trust that intuitive voice. And the fifth one is, celebrate your uniqueness. So those of you that are online, I want you to take a look at this. While they're looking at it for a moment, I want you to read what's on the sheet, because there's a little more description there. And pick one. Don't start talking yet, but just pick one. Everybody online, let me know if you have one. Just kind of put your, you want to turn their volume off, the TV volume. Good, okay. So, good, okay, got it. All right. And so those that are online, please go ahead and you can start to talk to each other. And those in the room, has everybody got it? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to give you no more than 3 minutes. That means a minute per person. So I'm going to let's go ahead and you can start. Person with the shortest hair gets to start first.
Oh, no, that's not fair.
And no, it is. It is. All right, go ahead. I'll ring the bell when you're ready, when you're done. Choose one.
We say why as well.
Why? Yeah. Why do you want that? Victoria. Okay, I'm going to ask the crowd to.
Which one?
The crowd gets to share. I'm going to ask, okay, so take it to the person that's speaking the microphone.
Okay, great.
It's on.
Okay.
Good? Okay, let's bring it back to the center here. All right, well, Okay, stay where you're at. Don't move. And what I'd like is, Victoria, we now have 2 microphones now. We have a mobile microphone. And I'd like somebody to share. What did you get out of that? Raise your hand, she'll bring the microphone to you. This is so the people online can hear.
Well, I guess I'm volunteered.
Put the microphone to your face, like this.
Okay. I was a bit distracted during this because I found a friend here that I haven't seen in at least 5 years. But it was a good reflection. It was all 5 of these are great things to reflect on, but I felt most called to reflect on the pause before reacting. And it was, it's good to be reminded to do that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come on, now that we have the ability, I want us to start sharing this.
Connie, speak like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
My uniqueness, I've been discovering, I've always known, but I don't listen, is I like to create happiness and fun and joy. And I easily did that with people with disabilities, people in jail, people recovering from drug and alcohol. But now I have the opportunity to do it here on Monday nights. And I'm just looking forward to all the people that want to come and have fun. But I realize normal people don't really want to have fun.
I don't know about that.
They would rather be home eating or...
What's your thing?
That's my uniqueness. That's my thing.
What is it? What's it say? Number 4? What is it?
Number 5, a fun person, and I like to create fun.
I like that. Good. Okay.
Yeehaw.
Who else? Who else? Come on, Al. Come over here. Give me a group over here.
Speak like this.
Tell me your thing.
Speak to yourself with kindness. I have a very critical ego, and I am working on that to be kinder to myself because I deserve it.
That's right. Yay. Amen. Yes. Yay. Yes. Yes. Okay. One more. Anybody online want to share? If you do, the voice is up. Just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Jody, you want to share? That's D. Jude? You're good, D? Okay. Jody, you want to share?
No pressure.
No pressure. No, I guess not. Oh, there she goes. Is it delay?
Unmute.
Time pause before reacting.
Pause. Why do you want to do that?
Well, I usually do, but not always, so I can always get better at it.
Great. Good. Thank you. All right. Anybody else?
I have a brief share.
Okay, go ahead. Martin?
So celebrate my uniqueness. I've been interviewing all week, and one of the unique things I have, I'm a technical writer by trade, but I also have people skills. I also have database skills. I can update websites. I've got like different varying reasons for expanding my communication. I can do that. So that kind of makes me unique as a technical writer.
Yeah.
Oh, artistic too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, keep going. All right.
Yep.
Okay,
Good.
I think Brenda wants to share. Thank you. Yes, you are unique.
I'm just curious how many people, a lot, 3 of us did the pause before reacting. I wonder if that's in this group. I mean, a lot of people, it seemed like that was
Yeah.
what's.
Yeah, a lot of us.
Yeah.
Pause before reacting, yeah.
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 That's one of us.
The pause can be a big breath also. Okay. All right, I think that's it for now.
Okay.
So you can turn that mic off. The thing is, I want you to realize that take this, well, you're going to be able to take this home with you and practice during the week. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of things. First is Ralph Waldo Emerson said this. Well, it's not on there, so I don't want to give you that one yet. He says, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. The world's always trying to make us something else. You don't have to be your own self. Be your own uniqueness. You can turn towards me if you want. But you don't have to worry about where the trees are. The chairs are. I don't care. So I want to talk about, I'm going to end with a couple of things here. One is to live your intuition. Not only listen, but to live. It doesn't have to be pretty. Don't worry about it. But to live your intuition. And here's what it would look like if you lived your intuition. Your choices would become aligned. Choices you make become aligned when you live your intuition. Your relationships become more authentic. Because you can see it in front of you when they're not authentic. That's why when you come here, I expect you to be authentic. Be whatever you are, however you are, because that's okay. The more we see that, the more we understand that, the more we become that, the more we accept it. Because there's a lot of variety out there. Your work becomes more meaningful when you're authentic. I know some of you are very talented here. And it's so cool to watch you be creative and teach others to be very creative. That brings out their authenticity. I put your world will become more peaceful. Everything out there is going to go out there whether you like it or not. But when you bring it into here, it becomes more peaceful where you are in the present moment. And it says, because when we listen to the deeper voice within, we begin to act from wisdom instead of fear. Really, really critical, especially right now. And the other thing about this is, we have, I think, 25 people in here, including our audience, is that if you can do that, somebody's watching you and wants to be just like you. And what a gift to give. Wonderful gift to give, right? Yeah, I see a big smile in the back room. So here's what you're going to do. This is the experiment for the week. Besides the reminder of what you want to do, is I want you to take a few moments of stillness every single day. 3 minutes, 1 minute, I don't really care. The more you can do, the better it is. Turn down the noise of the world and silently ask this: what life wants to express through me today? What life wants to express through me today? And then listen. Don't look for the answer, just go about your business. And just trust that whatever comes up is perfect. So we want that again? What life wants to express through me today? And that sounds so simple, but it's not. Because it may say to you, take the day off. I can remember in those 30,000 mile year that one day I could not, I'm up in LA, supposed to see all these people, and my intuition says, go home. Go home. And as I'm driving, and I did, I turned around and I went home. But on the way home, I stopped at the Self-Realization Fellowship. And that's what I needed. I needed to calm myself down. I was so busy getting and doing and making things happen. And I know I can do that without anybody else's help. But I have a really hard time stopping. I love this statement. It says, because the same intelligence that spins the galaxy, right? You've heard this before, beats your heart and grows the trees. I have lots of trees in my backyard right now. Is also guiding your life. It's moving through you. Doesn't matter what you think it's doing. It is happening to you and moving through you. So we're going to do an affirmation today. And the way we do our affirmation is we whisper it, we speak it, then we say it loud. but we'll say it 3 times, and then once we're complete, I'm then going to take us right into a prayer. So, this is the affirmation. So let's say this together. We're going to whisper it first. So, whispering means you're talking to your soul, okay? So let's whisper it. Today, I allow stillness to speak through me, guiding my life with wisdom, love, and peace. Regular voice. Today, I allow stillness to speak through me, guiding my life with wisdom, love, and peace. Now you can yell if you want, okay? Today, I allow stillness to speak through me, guiding my life with wisdom, love, and peace. And I invite you to close your eyes as I just anchor this into the week, knowing that as we come here, we are recognizing the presence of God within us and around us and through us. That it is always there in every moment, in every place, in every space of our life. We are never disconnected. We are always connected to this one presence. And so I know as we go about our week that we are reminded of that truth because we came here today to hear this. And we're reminded to listen to that intuitive voice that's moving through each and every one of us. And maybe we don't hear it the first time, but we just get still and quiet and say, repeat. Repeat to me that which I need to know within me. And then we listen, and then we go do. And so I know that each person has come here today, those that are online, those that will hear this talk later, are listening to and are more aware of that which wants to come forward. And because of that, all of us make a difference in our lives and the lives that we live, and the lives of the people that we touch. And so I feel very blessed to know that we have done this together, to know that Spirit has spoken through me to bring this message, to allow it to just unfold in natural grace. And so I give great thanks for that. I release these words now into the present moment of the mind of the one, and our minds knowing it's absolutely done. And join me in saying, and so it is. Amen.